Before the universe's creation, all that existed was anarchy and darkness. The universe was initially created by the Creator who infused it with life and order. But when life was formed, the looming threat of death was always present. To keep the universe in balance, the divine created the Grim Reaper, a spirit who was as old as the stars, to guide the souls of the dead into the afterlife. Originating in Western European folklore, the Grim Reaper embodies death and has since become an ever-present symbol in contemporary culture. The main responsibility of the Grim Reaper, who is usually shown as a skeletal figure wearing a dark robe and wielding a scythe, is to gather the souls of the dead and lead them to the afterlife. This figure has developed over centuries of storytelling and religious imagery, although it has no direct origin in Greek mythology. The first signs of the Reaper's presence crept across the night like a chilling wind. They said that in the stillness of night, when the veil between the realms of the living and the dead witnessed a person in a cloak pass through the countryside. With the sound of screams from ravens and the rustling of dead leaves, the Reaper showed up, all black, his eyes gleaming like dying sparks. This figure held a scythe, crafted from the bones of the first humans, its blade glinting with a horrific, ghostly light. The kingdom of Eldoria was the scene of the first known encounter with the Grim Reaper. Death was the result of a pandemic that had devastated the country. Survivors described a dark figure moving silently among the sick, sucking their life essence to its chilling grasp under the shadow of this awful event. The cold, fearful fingers were tightening around the hearts of those who saw the Reaper. Deep in an uncharted territory, Eldoria is a fascinating and ancient country rich in tradition and wrapped in mystery. The precise location of Eldoria is unclear to most people due to its natural difficulties and strong magical powers. Situated in a landscape of different and fascinating features, Eldoria is a place of astounding beauty and ancient fascination. The Valewood, a deep, magical forest, covers the entire realm and is home to tall, ancient trees that reach up and whisper ancient secrets with their leaves. The luminescent plants light the paths for those daring enough to go out and bring these woodlands to life. Eldoria is filled with eerie features and ancient ruins. The most famous of them is the stone circle of Solara, a place of great magical power where the kingdom's healers and sorcerers work their most potent spells. The Whispering Meadows offer a place for reflection and a connection to the past, as the wind whispers soft words from years gone by. Eldoria is centered around the magnificent royal palace, an impressive building with sparkling domes and intricate carvings. The enchanted gardens which encircle the castle are home to unusual and beautiful flora with petals that glitter with unearthly light. The aroma of ethereal flowers fills the air in these gardens, which are a haven of calm and reflection. One fine day, Ilara, a young healer, risked by pursuing the Reaper out of desperation to save her sick brother. She arrived in the dark woods where the Reaper was said to be living. Her courage was her sole source of protection against the overpowering fear. In the center of the forest, she saw the Reaper standing over a deceased knight, its scythe waiting to capture another soul. With sadness and a centuries-old knowledge blazing in its eyes, the Reaper turned to face Ilara.
Life and death are bound in an eternal dance, child.
Said in a voice that echoed over the millennia.
Never attempt to alter the god's choice.
Over the course of the years, the Grim Reaper's myth grew more and more widespread, providing as an ongoing motif in the ever-changing fabric of human history. During the Black Death, the Reaper appeared to loom larger, its cloak enveloping Europe like a shroud. It was a skeleton apparition that haunted them in the present as well as in nightmares, and artists captured it in extreme detail. Rumors circulated across the villages of a skeleton hand that was said to knock on doors and seal their fate if anyone opened. Bartholomew, an old storyteller from the tranquil hamlet of Ravenwood, told tales of having personally seen the Reaper. He recounted of the night when the moon was low and blood-red in the sky, and the air was thick with the stench of decay. Bartholomew's voice trembled as he depicted the Reaper's empty look and the unspoken promise of darkness in its eyes.
The Reaper is terrifying not because it takes lives, but rather because it knows every soul's darkest secrets and unfulfilled ambitions.
The man stated. In contemporary times, the Grim Reaper remains a well-known myth, an apparition that haunts both the real and virtual worlds. In popular mythology, the Reaper is said to appear in empty roads, abandoned hospitals, and even deep behind internet. It has been said that avoiding death through technology or evil magic only serves to boost the Reaper's accessibility. Living in an idyllic suburban community, Lucas was an occultist who tried calling the Reaper with an old ritual that he discovered online. On a stormy night, he lit black candles and uttered forbidden words. The colder the air, the longer the shadows. As thunder pierced the sky, the Reaper appeared, dominating and stifling in its presence. Lucas gazed into its empty sockets, suddenly realizing too late that he had called forth a thing outside of his control. With its scythe glistening, the Reaper said,
"You have summoned me, but now you must face the consequences."
The Grim Reaper is still a timeless figure that serves as an ongoing reminder of the shadow of death. Its tale has been recorded in the pages of human history as a terrifying reminder of the fragile balance between life and death. The Reaper is not a monster that can be defeated. Rather, he is a guide to the final threshold and keeper of the ultimate truth that all living creatures must face. Rather than being in an established tale, the Grim Reaper is a mythical figure and cultural symbol. Fables are short tales with moral lessons delivered through animals as characters. In contrast, the Grim Reaper is a personification of death that has evolved throughout various cultures and centuries. The Grim Reaper was originally documented in literature and in antiquity. In Greek mythology, the concept of death, or thanatos, a Greek word, was and is a symbol of death. Usually portrayed as a winged apparition or a little figure, he would gently and empathetically guide the deceased to the hereafter. Not as intimidating as his opponent, but nonetheless a kind and sympathetic presence. Similar to the Greek god Thanatos, the Roman god of death was known by the name Mors, which translates to death in Latin. Mors represented the unavoidable demise that all living things must experience, as well as the physical end of existence and a mystery journey into the afterlife. Mors was usually shown as a sad individual shrouded in darkness. Unlike the more skeletal Grim Reaper of medieval times, Mors was sometimes shown as a more human-like creature, suggesting a feeling of seriousness and inevitability rather than panic and horror. Mors was usually connected to tranquil, sleep-like deaths rather than violent ones caused by other gods or calamities. Mors appeared less like a violent death in the cycle of life and more like a common occurrence because of this connection to a peaceful death. The Roman god Somnus, also known as Hypnos, holds a significant place in Greek and Roman mythology. Born from the union of Nyx, the goddess of night, and Erebus, Somnus resides in the underworld. Being the god of sleep, Somnus has the ability to direct and affect people's dreams and sleep patterns. Somnus is a calm and kind god who is frequently seen with wings and bearing symbols like an upside-down lamp or an opium horn. Somnus's significance in the realm of dreams and sleep has captivated our curiosity through several ancient writings and literary references. The representations of death are found in many cultures, each representing its own particular set of customs and beliefs. For example, La Santa Muerte, or Holy Death, is a highly adored character in Mexican culture. The woman is pictured as a skeletal woman and is connected to both death and healing. Ladies and gentlemen, as we draw our journey to a close, let's take a light-hearted look at the figure who's often misunderstood, the Grim Reaper. Now, before you shiver at the thought of a skeletal figure with a scythe, let's consider a different perspective. In this role, our friend the Reaper has a great sense of humor. After all, when you've seen it all, you learn to take things lightly. Picture him making small talk about your life's funniest moments, or sharing a celestial joke to ease your journey. He's like the quirky uncle at the family reunion, the one with the best stories and a heart full of warmth. Until then, live fully, laugh often, love the ones you're with, and don't worry, he's in no rush to meet you. I truly appreciate your time and support. By subscribing to our channel, you're joining a community of curious minds eager to explore the wonders of mythological history and fairy tale adventures. Don't forget to ring that notification bell so you never miss a thrilling journey. Share this channel with your friends to spread the magic. I can't wait to see you in the next video. Until then, keep exploring, stay fascinated, and let your imagination soar.